Oh, hold on. That doesn't help me. I need to put on a different light. Oh well. Let's set it back to blue because it's a good color. I have my black lights working, which is really nice. Um hmm. I don't know if it's because of the it must be because of the black light, but everything in the room is a bit brighter. Yeah, it's because of that. Anyways, hello. It's dark. You know what? Screw it. We'll keep it dark. Just because I like the lighting right now. I was gonna turn on. I usually whenever I turn the vlog on, I turn on this light, and then I turn on. I have a lamp on my desk that I turn on just so that I have surround sound, but not surround sound, but like all around lighting. Just so that cause I spin around and walk around with the camera, so just so that there's no like just so that things like this don't happen. But whatever. So I went. Some of my friends came to hang out with me today. We played some Nidhogg. Um, reminds me of the last time I played Nidhogg with some of my other friends, and it's such a simple game. It reminds me a lot of Dive Kick, in that Dive Kick is kind of this. It's a game that's kind of like, how was it described? I think Dive Kick was described as stripping a fighting game down to its core elements. So like it's literally two buttons. Nidhogg's kind of similar, but it's a lot more. It's got layers to it. It's got it's got like basic movements. You get a jump and an attack, but aside from that, it's the weapon that you're holding that changes the how you play it. So in the first one, all you had was a sword, but in Nidhogg 2, they had like the bow, they have the broadsword, and they have the dagger. And depending on what you're holding, it's can get pretty intense. And I had my friends came over. We played Nidhogg 2, and I don't I thought I mean I didn't like the art style when I first saw it, but the more that I look at the whole product, uh, I'm fine with it. It's kind of weird hearing the Nidhogg developer, I think Mesoff, say like, yeah, that was the intended look for Nidhogg. It was that, and it looks hideous. I'm like, I don't know if it would have sold well if it looked like that. I think part of the charm was that it looked ugly, but not in the sense that it was ugly on purpose. It looked like it was ugly because of like hardware limitations. I didn't know that it was. I mean, I don't mind. I feel like if Nidhogg was gonna go like HD, I don't really see any other way for it to look other than that. I think it fits, so I don't quite hate it, but it's fine. Um, yes, we played that. Um, we uh we played a game that lasted, honest to God, around like 21, 22 minutes. I wish I had the video for it. I don't have any proof of it, but it was the longest back and forth in the entire world, and oh, but that was pretty fun. I think, and to me at least. Oh, the dog's here. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to let the dog in. Something I remember a long, long time ago in a video that doesn't exist anymore because I said it's a private. Um, I made a video talking about movie theater etiquette, and one of the things that I remember talking about, what did I just say? One of the things that I remember talking about in that video was don't bring a child into an R-rated movie, and that's a rule that like we have these movie ratings for a reason. And then you have like the moms or the parents or whatever who are just like complaining about like there's violence in this movie that I brought my kid in. It's the same people. It's the same people who just bring their kids to whatever movie and not even pay attention. They're like, we should have a rating system that lets us know about violence and nudity in a movie, and it's like it's an R rating. It says you buy the ticket. There's a big R on it with like stars around it, so that you know, and you don't listen to it, and then you watch the movie, and then you complain because your kid saw a tit. It's like it's like shit like this that gets me so heated. And I honest to God, they should, we should ban babies from places like these. Like, no question. If you cannot, like, if you choose to have a baby, or if you just have a baby, that's just, you're just giving up shit like this for a little bit. You don't you don't get to live your life the way that you used to because you now have a baby. You now have this thing. Unless you can get like a babysitter or like someone to take care of the baby, just don't bring a baby to a movie theater, or any place that's kind of like a movie theater. Don't bring a baby to like a play or whatever. Or just, it's so like, babies don't care. Babies don't have the proper etiquette. You have to grow up to learn that etiquette, and babies are not born with it. All right, toddlers just do not. They don't know that in the movie theater you're supposed to shut the fuck up. You, people around you are trying to enjoy the experience, and then your kid is like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Um, I've talked about this before, but I've had a show that I was doing, Midsummer Night's Dream. It was a production of Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was double cast. So there was some days that I was able to sit down and actually watch the show. At one of the venues that I saw, I think it was like the last showing. I wasn't part of the last showing because the way that it works, alternating. I was there for the opening show, and then me and my co-actor, my friend, um, we alternated the role, and then on the last day, I was able to watch the show. I was sitting next to probably the shittiest kid that I probably can, um, like the entire time this kid was like falling asleep, and not like quiet. Like if I was gonna fall asleep at the play, I would probably just quietly doze off. But this kid was like, "I'm tired. I don't want to go home." And then every time the mom would be like, "Okay, let's go home." Just to be like, "Fuck it, kid. All right, fine. You want to be a little shitty little kid? I'll treat you like a shitty little kid. You want to go home? Let's go home." And every time the mom said, "Let's go home," the kid would be like, "Wait, I just I can't wait 5 minutes." So then the mom would be like, "Okay, let's wait 5 minutes. You gotta be quiet, okay?" And the kid's like, "Okay." And then like 2 seconds later, the kid's like, "What's still going on?" I'm like, "Come the fuck on, kid." And I just had flashbacks of that today, or like this kid in the theater was just like kept kids also don't know like how to whisper, and I hate that. I know that's like a shitty thing for me to say as like, as like a grown up basically, but like I absolutely despise the fact that kids don't know how to whisper. Like, you bring these children to these places, you should teach them the proper etiquette, because they're gonna grow up shitty. You teach these kids that it's okay to do that in a quiet environment. They're gonna walk around the library going, "I want this book," in like full volume, and I despise it and I hate it, you know. And I'm not gonna give the comparison of like, "Oh, I was a quiet kid," because honestly, um that kind of stuff is, I will admit, it's hard to learn, and it's hard to teach a child that you have to be quiet. Now it's not the time for talking. Now it's the time for sitting and watching, or something. It's a quiet environment, and it's hard to teach a child how to do that. And honestly, I don't know how I got to that point. Um I just remember like not talking a lot. Maybe I was like more introverted as a child than I remember, but like, um kids sometimes I'm just like, not let's just shut up, like, just keep talking. Like, you tell a kid like, okay, you have to be quiet, like, you're like whispering so that they get the fucking hint that you gotta shut up. But they don't get it, and they just say, why, like, ugh, my god. To be fair, this kid was not as loud, but I just hate that at a movie theater that's always the fear, like, my friend and I walked in the theater. It was completely like empty, and we were like, awesome. So like, if it was just me and my friend, and I would not mind talking, because I went to the movie with that person. So if they're gonna talk and I'm gonna talk, neither of us would mind. But if a third person comes along that I'm not with, talking is no longer an option for me. That person might want a quiet movie experience. Um, and it's such I hate it so much when I'm, especially, I don't like watching movies opening weekend because of the fact that you run the risk of not only, like a full theater. My sister and I went to go watch Star Wars Episode 7, like, midnight show, the midnight premiere of it. And we couldn't even sit next to each other without getting good seats. Like, she was like, "You want to find like two seats that are right next to each other?" I'm like, "No, I mean, look, there's a good seat up there, and there's a good seat down here. I'd rather have like good movie experience and then watch the movie together and like have like shitty seats." Because I remember watching Spider-Man, not Homecoming, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I remember watching Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the front row. Like, how like a movie, I don't know if it's, I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere, but like uh a movie theater has like the three pretty much sections to sit in. You have like the top row, you have the middle row, and then you have the front row for like heathens. And then the front row was like the only place where we could see it. And I was watching the Amazing Spider-Man 2 front row, like probably like third or fourth row from the front, off to the side. So like not only was I like looking up, I was looking left like that, like an asshole the whole time, and my neck just hurts, and the picture's all distorted, and I just hate it. And of course, because the theater is full of all sorts of people, there's a great chance that there's a baby in the audience. And you know what? There were two babies in the audience, and I hated both of them because they wouldn't shut up. And it happens every single time you go to like a midnight premiere or anything. And you'd think like these restrictions like by ratings would mean something. Sure, a baby doesn't understand and will probably not even retain the scenes in Deadpool. So fine, bring it. Bring the child, bring the baby to watch Deadpool. But make sure that it's quiet. Make sure that it doesn't cry or like shit its pants, you know? But bringing a child to a movie like Logan, you know? Could you imagine like I had my own set of problems watching Logan, and it wasn't a child, unfortunately. It was the people that I came with. My friends would not shut up the entire, and I've yelled at them already about it, so they know I'm angry at them about that. But like, um, I could not possibly imagine watching Logan. You're trying to engross yourself into the story, and just a child just from like three or four rows over, just like, "I'll go potty," or like, "Is he the bad guy?" or something like that. Not even like that. Like outwardly yelling, like, "Is he the bad?" Like, ugh, I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this culture where I have to be fair to a child. And I brought these up with some of my friends, and they're like, "But it's a child." And fine, it's a child. Doesn't mean the child has to be shitty. A child can be quiet at a movie theater. You're not giving children enough credit in that sense. A child knows how to be quiet. Some kids just don't. Some kids just choose not to be quiet. Some of them just need the attention, and the fact that they just choose a movie theater to go to. I feel like there should be a rule. My pets won't bark at a movie theater. Like, if I bring them one by one, at least one of them, if I just keep them on a very short leash, right? Just have them walk around a little bit. They're not gonna be like, "Oh," the whole time, right? Uh, my dog will not ask for like to go potty every few minutes. They will not jingle jangle the whole time. I just I hate it. Like, more places should ban babies than pets. It's the gist of what I'm getting at. Anyway, I'm getting too heated about it, and I'm tired already. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, and hopefully this feeling will fade because I'm very tired. I'm gonna I'm gonna cool it. All right. Uh, goodbye. I'll see you guys next time.